Patricia will never forget his first head coaching victory. It came here at Ford Field against his old club. Marvin Jones Jr. won a couple of touchdown passes for Stafford as they won the ball game 26-10. Then the last 3 days renewing old acquaintances in shared practices in Allen Park. And tonight, a little bit more on the line as the preseason opens for both these squads as they take on the Super Bowl champions here tonight in Detroit. Good evening, everybody. I'm Fred McLeod. Happy to be back in the Motor City along with Chris Spielman. I know he is too, of course, as we look forward to a really, I don't want to say a revamped football team, but certainly injected with life. And I know you're pretty optimistic, aren't you?
Well, ever since I've been doing the preseason, going back about 3 or 4 years, this is the first year that I feel really optimistic about their chances. I do think they have a 10-win season. I do think they're a playoff team. And the simple reason why, Fred, is because of the roster. Let's start with the offense. You take first that guy, a healthy Marvin Jones Jr., a great red zone threat, deep threat, a #1 wide receiver. Then guess who else is coming along? Right there, Kenny Golladay, a guy that's emerging. I know some people love him, some people hate him. I'm the guy that love him. Then, of course, Kerryon Johnson. Kerryon averaged 5.4 yards a carry. And the thing that Matthew Stafford has with this offense is something that he didn't have before is a rushing game, and you can see how important those big three are to this offense and for them to be productive.
And you know, with new offensive coordinator Darrell Bevell, he'll rely a lot more on the running game than in past years, which certainly has got to open up the rest of the offense. All right, what about defensively? What's catching your eye?
Well, much like offensive football, with defense, everything starts up front, and it starts with the defensive line. You look at the addition of Trey Flowers. One thing to note is 36 quarterback pressures. People often judge defensive linemen by how many sacks. Quarterback pressures cause mistakes and turnovers. And when you add Damon Harrison, look at the difference. They averaged 92.5 yards per game when he came over. Before that, they were giving up 132 yards a game. When you have Damon Harrison in there, not only does he help that whole defensive line, but Jared Davis played his best football when Damon Harrison came back. And now we'll see tonight guys that want to be part of that snack pack, as they like to call them.
And as you said, when you have big pants in front of you, it makes your life easier, doesn't it?
The bigger the pants in front of a linebacker, the better I look. If it's a small guy, the worse I look.
He's tightening his belt, folks, for the next couple of hours here as we get set for the opener of the preseason here on the Lions Football Network. And, oh, yeah, Matthew Stafford, can't forget about him as the future certainly looks bright.
Put the hand on the ground drill.
Oh, getting off the Bolden again. Breaks to the outside. Gets a block, but there's a flag down. It's across the 40-yard line, but let's see if it comes back as Darius Slay was there to make the tackle. Bolden was with Miami last year and was also cut by these Patriots.
During the run, holding, offense, number 83. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Replay, first down.
All right, we get to holding, but I want you to take a look at Jelani Tavai right here. And the one thing he has to learn, and I've been watching him a little bit, is he's got to learn. And the Patriots had Cordero Patterson. He's that type of player.
Another running play that gets nothing as Miles Killebrew there. He, too, has had a very good camp. Remember, switched to linebacker a year ago from safety. Did not play a down at all on defense, just special teams, but he's opened some eyes.
Yeah, that's speed, you know, so you sacrifice size that Miles doesn't have for speed and instincts, which he does have, and you know that he's a thumper when he gets there.
Killebrew 6'2", 220. November, year to year. 11-yard gain there to Harris. Reese Harris on the reception. Stidham has shown well. The quarterback hands it off. Nothing going there. Miles Killebrew is there for the tackle.
Yeah, he's doing a really good job. And look, Miles knows he's not going to start a linebacker for this team. What he can do is be a valuable backup. And the other thing, he's got versatility, right? He can always play linebacker. If they ever needed him in emergency at safety, he can do that. But right there, he's not going to get in a fight with an offensive lineman because he's going to lose that size. So he just avoids them, but has the quickness to close down and make a tackle.
So 2nd and 9 at the 41. Killebrew says wherever he's played, it's always been about team first. He says he'll do whatever the Lions ask him to do. Sit on play action.
There's a pressure.
Banged into that time.
Eric Lee.
Yep, got to him first, along with Mitchell Lavin, who's had a very good camp.
Yeah, this is a nice job right here. Defensive back or corner in this league, you better have recovery speed, and that's exactly what he showed.
Did him 11 of 18 throwing for 139. Izzo in motion. Pitch to Brissett, trying to turn the corner, wrapped up by Killebrew.
Yes, sir.
Miles showing that speed.
Yeah, you know, so Miles Killebrew, and you give a guy a lot of credit. It is very difficult to move from safety to play linebacker. And he's getting a natural feel for it, and he has enough speed, and he has really good instincts. And this time it's that same play that we saw, but you see the speed again, beating the crackback block inside and cutting the angle off. That was the same play that they've had success in the 3rd quarter twice. That time Killebrew blew it up by penetration.
3rd down call at the 5. Here comes Stidham from the gun. Goes underneath behind the intended receiver. But you know Miles Killebrew made his living in the special teams a year ago. One of those guys that really can make themselves invaluable by doing the little things, right?
Yeah, no doubt. I think anytime a coaching staff comes to you and asks you to switch positions, there might be a little bit of pride that you have where you feel like you're good at your first position, but you know what? He did it for the betterment of the team, and he's put on some weight. I tell you, from practicing against the guy, too, he's got speed, he's got a little bit of quickness. He'll come down and thump you once in a while, too.
Yeah, either pride or paranoia. One of the two is going to set it.
Well, that's true. If you want to keep getting paid.
Hey, TJ, you're going to play wide receiver. How do you feel about that?
You got it.
Sometimes you don't have a choice. Hey, TJ, thanks for joining us. Great to see you, and glad you're back home, that's for sure.
Thanks, Fred. Thanks for having me.
We'll
Good seeing you too, Chris.
Joined by President Rod Wood coming up. This place was vibrating. So, it's just good to see what has happened downtown, obviously, and the resurgence of Detroit has been, heartfelt enjoyment for all of us who have either left or come back, and it's just been great.
I think we can go back to the schedule a little bit. You know, the one thing I like, your fans are going to get to see the Chargers and the Kansas City Chiefs, right? You're going to see them early on. And you're going to get a good test to find out how good this football team is early. Not to mention Arizona, which has its own unique test with a very unique player named Kyler Murray.
Right. We have the road game in Arizona open up with rookie quarterback who's incredibly skilled. Going to run a little different offense that you see anywhere else in the NFL probably. And then we have the Chargers coming here, so that's an important game, first home game of the year. We want to have a great crowd in here. And then we have the Chiefs as our second home opponent. So a lot of great quarterback play early on in the season that we're going to see. And then you get into the division games, and of course Dallas is going to be here this year, which is always a great draw. And they have a really good team as well. So it's a good home schedule with good talent, star players, and come out and support the team and make this place the great home field advantage that it is.
And you talked about the Bears' worst to first. I mean, that's got to be. Again, meet up with Bill O'Brien. O'Brien was the offensive coordinator when Matt was the defensive coordinator, both under Bill Belichick.
And you know that Matt Patricia and Darrell Bevell faced each other in the Super Bowl, right?
Yes.
And so you go ahead, and he understands that Bevell's mindset fits what Matt Patricia and Bob Quint want as far as philosophically. Bob, go find the players. Matt, go coach the players.
You saw the schedule coming up, ending in Cleveland with the Buffalo game sandwiched in between, and that'll do it here tonight at Ford Field in the opener. As Belichick and company, I'm certain, remembering what happened to them last September when Matthew Stafford and the crew dismantled Tom Brady in that one-sided victory. So Coach Patricia will hobble off and they get back to the drawing board for the backups, as they'll take tomorrow off and then get back to Allen Park and the practice fields on Saturday. So that'll do it. Thanks, partner. It was great to see you again.
Welcome back, Fred.
Absolutely. Feel like we never left. Is number 54 alongside Chris Spielman, one of my all-time favorites anyway, as a player and now as an analyst. Hope you enjoyed our broadcasts as the New England Patriots doing what they wanted tonight. And again, the Lions with plenty of teaching moments here tonight at Ford Field. Until next week in Houston, we'll say goodnight from Ford Field.
Fox Sports thanks you for watching this presentation of the National Football League. For NFL news and highlights, go to NFL.com.
Well, we lost, so obviously there's a lot of work to be done. You know, there's nothing that beats game reps, and so personally, I'm glad I was able to go out there and compete, but ultimately, Patriots were the better team today, and they beat us.
Personally, though, what did you maybe learn as the game went on about playing that position live?
About playing linebacker?
Yeah.
Well, there was a lot. Obviously, we have to go watch the film and see what we can take away from it. But as a team, you know, collectively, we just made too many mistakes today, and Patriots are a very good team, and they capitalized.
You feel more comfortable in the role now, obviously through camp and playing the game now. You look
right.
like you're communicating well out there, comfortable.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, nothing beats those game reps, and being able to go out there and compete with my guys, definitely was able to take away a lot from that experience.
We've seen you play in the back in the secondary,
right.
And then I think you had maybe a run blitz or something, tackle for loss. You look pretty good getting in the backfield there. Do you feel equally comfortable both playing the run and the pass?
Sure. I mean, I like to run. I like to tackle. So that plays to my strengths, being able to run in space. But, you know, just going back to the team dynamic, you know, there's a lot we got to work on. So that's my focus right now, is now we got to go back, break down this film, and see what we can do to improve for next week.
What does the game tell you? A game like this, you know, both offense and defense struggled.
Sure.
Does it tell you about where you guys are as far as, is it better to have more things to work on, knowing that early in the preseason?
Right. Yeah, I mean, week one, we know that there were going to be a lot of things that we need to work on. So now we can see what those things are and attack it as a team and get better next week.
Are you surprised that it went the way it did?
Well, we never know what to expect. So, I mean, obviously I would rather not lose.
Right.
But, hey, that's what happened today, so just got to keep pushing.
Were guys hanging their heads at all, or did you feel the effort was still there throughout the whole game?
I felt like my guys fought hard. You know, we don't have a culture of losers on this team, and so we're not taking this loss lightly. This is definitely something that no matter what stage of the season we're in, you know, we're going to grind it out and get better for next week.
Last year, obviously it's only one game, but
sure.
Last year, even in the preseason, there were concerns with the way kind of preseason games went of what was going to maybe happen in the regular season. Is there any concern at this point of what maybe based off of what happened last year that makes the same thing?
No, we're not. No, we're not looking. We're not looking at last year. We're not worried about next year. You know, we're focused on it right now, and what we have right now is we're going down to Houston, and that's what's next.
On a personal level, when you look at where you were at this point last year, compare it to now, and how you have grown into that spot at linebacker.
Well, I just try to adapt, and this is a season that adapting is going to be necessary. So whatever my role is, I'll accept it and give it my all.
How far do you think you've come personally since then?
Well, we'll have to break down the film. Then I'll get you a better answer. But you know, I'm trying to improve every day, as we all are, and that's our goal right now. It's just to get better.
Why do you say that this is a season where adapting is going to be necessary?
Well, you know, I didn't mean to emphasize it more or less than any other year. I just know that in this league, if we want to win, we're going to have to either adapt or die. And I'm sure you heard that a lot, and it's a true mantra. And we are planning on doing whatever it takes to be in the best position to win, which will require us to adapt.
Are there any positives you can take from this game?
Yep, just, you know, like I said, we'll have to break down the film, see what we did well, do that more, and see what we did bad, and do that less.